Right, and we're live. Should be live. Over live. Is it live? And I think we're live. Right. So this is the first Truckers Union debate for Friday the 5th of April 2019. Welcome everyone. Right, speaker.
Hello. So guys, we're calling forward obviously debate because we had the meeting as of Wednesday to discuss what would be debated today and just general discussion over here. Sorry, still getting used to this. So we're going to obviously go through the point of orders that today, which is set out on our agenda, which everyone should be able to access if they want to follow along with it. So we just to say that obviously we've had a couple members left or closed down, which is a bit unfortunate to them, which will obviously support anyone in the meantime that need it. And then going on with the first point of order today is the staff structure. So we would like to hear your views on the staff structure and how we can improve them.
Well, I'll start off anyway. I think the staff structure is pretty much spot on as it is. There might be room for a few more improvements, but I like to propose obviously with last point of order today, edits or changes made to the staff structure and possibly in next debate.
I've got a point about the staff structure. I'd like to change how the roles are laid out. I think that the clerks and speakers should be above the like all the Republic staff should be above the Union staff, because ultimately the Republic is deciding what goes on with the Union. So
Firstly, on to the right honourable gentleman, I wish object to that. To be frank, the main backbone of, well, two main backbones of the Road Truckers Union is the VTC members, or the VTCs with their staff, and the team site populations and development. My opinions to the speaker and the clerks, they're only there to control and to log the debates in Truckers Republic.
Yeah, to the right honourable gentleman, I think the only changes I want is on the staff structure. There's some spelling mistake, especially on the second one.
Yeah, I think I agree. I think there should be just some fixes to the staff structure regarding spelling, but I don't think there's really any major change at the minute unless proposals come through in the next one, unless the speaker wishes to, or unless an amendment is proposed by the right honourable gentleman from Retro Gaming, and we could vote on it.
what did you say about?
If you could propose to the chamber the changes, or how you're going to lay it out, and amend it, we'll vote on it, on your amended motion.
Sure.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Mr. Speaker, would these staff structures be public to the user?
Say that again, please.
Would these be public to users that are not VTC representatives?
I would like to say for the honourable gentleman, Sam, if you could, the head of operations, if you could explain, please.
The staff structures will be visible on the website. And that is obviously on today's order paper. There will be a dedicated page on the website for the staff structure. The right honourable gentleman from Sandro and the right honourable gentleman from the development team will clarify that in the next 2 points of order. But the staff structure at the minute obviously is just visible on Discord on the side, but we will obviously get it on the website as soon as it's got to that section.
The honourable gentleman from Retro, are you still wanting to post your ideas and go into an amendment stage and then potentially vote, or are you happy to move on?
I'll draft up my amendments after the debate at some point, and then for the next debate they'll be ready.
Okay, that's perfectly fine. So the next point of order to move on to will be clerks and speakers. What we are looking for is 2 more clerks as a new speaker and 2 more clerks as the following positions of deputy speaker and senior clerk and as the regular clerk have come up available. So is there anyone wishing in here that would like to become a clerk or speaker? If so, say aye. So from the honourable gentleman from Arcadian, there's a role coming up of clerk and senior clerk as well as deputy speaker. So deputy speaker, if I'm unable to make it, will fill in for myself. And as for clerk, is you'll help me out with writing up all the votes and then giving me the results, to which then I would announce out.
Okay.
I don't think anyone wants to. I don't think I don't think we've got any biters here. I think you're just left on your own for the minute.
So there's no one that would love to join me.
I would have said aye, however, I have to say nay for the time being due to my VTCs come to a hibernation status at the moment. So I'm having to fix that over trying to jump on the bandwagon, so to speak, for joining as a clerk or...
Actually, I'll put myself forward as being deputy speaker.
Is there anyone that wants to go for deputy speaker or says against the honourable gentleman from SNF Hallage?
Should have a vote then. Get Sam in.
Yes, we can go into a vote.
Yeah, sure.
I'll write that up now.
I just do a voice.
Yeah, sorry. So all in favour of the honourable gentleman from SNF Hallage for speaker, say
Aye.
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 Aye. Aye.
That's a clear majority.
and everyone that says aye. So the honourable gentleman from SNF Hallage, you are now deputy speaker.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Right. For me, Mr. Speaker.
So the next point of order is about Discord bots. So we'll discuss about Discord bot and what features you would like. So if the honourable gentleman from SNF Hallage, if you'd like to explain a bit more about that, please.
Okay, so I've been talking lately to the honourable gentleman called Greg, who does Disco bots, and who doesn't mind, spending his time and doing a Disco bot for us. And he's asked me to ask you guys and want to vote a Disco bot through once we decide what features we want on it. So I would like to ask the chamber or the house to decide what features they want on the bot, so we pass through and then we'll get to work on it right away. Bear in mind we could get the Discord bot to tie into the website if the chamber would like it.
Can I just add something?
Go on, I give way to the right honourable gentleman from Metro.
If he wants to work on the bot, then he should apply through the same staff application process as everyone else has done.
I like to let the right honourable gentleman know from Retro. I believe he already has.
Is he?
But I do give way to anyone who wishes to put the suggestions forward.
If the Deputy Speaker could take over for a second, I'm seeming to have audio issues.
Right. Does anyone in the chamber wish to suggest any ideas? Or would the chamber like just to put straight through vote to approve the bot and just get work done to it?
Mr. Speaker, the only thing that I would suggest would be obviously the bot secure and the person who develops it is well trusted within the community, to be honest with you.
That's right on Gentleman's response. I believe that's quite a fair point. And it probably will. I do trust the right on gentleman, and he's done good jobs for me in the past, and he's helped the right on gentleman from Metro Haulage as well.
No, he hasn't.
Oh, the commute before that, I do apologise. I
The
believe
Discord bot that was never made.
Yeah, true. Well, because the commute closed down. Anyway, we could always see what he's like. That's all I can say. If we know what features he wants on, if we know what features we want on the bot, I can't speak.
So following that point then, I have got his application up at the moment. In his application, he's failed to actually show what previous work he has done before. So I think, oh wait, maybe not.
To the right honourable gentleman, I don't think we should be discussing someone's application.
It's not, I'm not leaking personal data. It's about your point, about having the right person for the job. So I'm just discussing that.
All right, thank you.
But if the house doesn't have any suggestions for what features we should have, we can amend. We can put a motion in effect just to vote on whether you want this passed through or declined for the minute.
Actually, I just thought of something as you mentioned that. So, as the chamber knows, we do voting of, like, saying yay or nay. What if we had a possible feature for the bot to work for the chamber that we can give it a command as such, and then it does the stuff automatically rather than us typing it all out and taking time out of the chambers speaking?
To the honourable gentleman, I actually am in favour of that, as it would help my work a bit better.
To the right gentleman for Alpha Logistics, does the right gentleman mean about setting up votes and counting them and members doing a command in the voting chat, so then it counts the votes and it displays the votes on how many people voted for aye, no, or in favour and decline.
Yes, and it would have like a set timer for how long that debate, or well, not debate, vote goes on for. So it has a timer. So it gives us a time. So it gets us moving on rather than us maybe having 5 minutes for one, but maybe 20 minutes for another. It will make it more fair for each vote for each sub.
So very gentlemen, I like the idea. However, most times, if obviously if we done a vote and there was division, hypothetically speaking, usually we do have 5 minutes for voting because we don't like to drag the proceedings on too long because we would like to mainly get much stuff done as we can. But if the obviously the GM would like to extend it, we can. We could amend the motion or amend a motion and put the amended motion through to extend our voting time so everyone has a chance. But the proposal about counting down would work very well and say the vote is closed then. I do like the right on chance idea from Alpha Logistics, I'd say. I give way.
So, is there any more matters to discuss on the Discord part, or shall we go into a vote if we're going to bring it in, or shall we just proceed into the next debate?
Mr. Speaker, I'd like to put a vote, pass the motion for a vote, please.
Yeah, sure. So, all in favour of passing the motion?
Aye.
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 Aye. Go on then. Aye.
Motion has passed. We'll go into discussion of the motion.
Right. Right.
So, if the deputy speaker could help me out a little bit, please.
Point of order is the next point of order on the website. I give way. I would like to ask the right majority from Sandbro and development team to please update us on the progress of the website and what they require from the house. The right majority from Sandbro. The right honourable gentleman from Sandbro. I mean, the right honourable gentleman from Sandbro is sadly away. So I asked the other head of officer and the right honourable gentleman from Retro 89 to fill us in if he knows anything as well.
Let's see. I'm not too known on the specifics, but the website is live. It's got a holding page on there now, which you can see. The domain has obviously been brought as well. We have a basic sort of system that's going to be put in place that was related back from previous debates on what we think, on what we thought the VTU should do in order to benefit its members and VTCs. So I've sort of interpreted that and given them a list of requirements, which I'm happy to share if you want. And I know that the server it's running on is a private server. It's excluded from everything else. The database is hosted locally, so all the back end stuff is sorted out, and it's it's in its own box, so there's no sort of security flaws around that area. I know that Pokey is working on the back end and Joey is working on the front end at the moment. So
I like to also add on top of that, with the basic requirements we've set out for the development team, the writing with gentlemen from San Brewer and other gentlemen from San Brewer during Pokey, like ask, is there any features you definitely want on the website and any features you would like us to consider, and if it's the case that the GMA cannot decide on one particular feature, then we can obviously vote upon it. However, the more features you pass through and tell us, the more we can actually do and get it done. But I give way to any of the fellow members who wish to talk.
I would like to suggest something for the website, since we have a number of VTCs to possibly have either just a set static page for the status of the trucks book, or like log VT log software to show where the progress of that VTC is, so people know whereabouts that VTC is on like the tracking softwares amongst the websites and all the private ones, etc.
Can I ask, expand on what he means by tracking and statistics? By the idea of statistics, are you mean pulling data from a logging software, for example, Virtual Truckers log, and displaying the statistics on there, and then having a link to that as well? If the right hook chairman could explain that, and what he also means is the progress of the VTC. Can the right hook elaborate on that? Because I'm not sure what he means.
I apologise on that, but basically what I'm suggesting is, like, for example, take Trucksbook as the example. It has two areas which it focuses of the overview of ETS2 and ATS. We could have something which is not based on like transport of goods or anything, but of the age of the VTC, how many members it's had added in that, had in the month, who's in charge of that VTC. So it's more of tracking the information of who runs it, who is part of that VTC, and where they stand also with the VTU.
Okay. So right, I'm going to Jones' response. I like the idea where he's come from. However, I like to propose, though, point out, it is up to the VTCs to tell us, obviously, well, it's the VTC's responsibilities to update how many members they have. Not all VTC would like to do it, because it gives them roughly the numbers away. They might feel a sense of insecurity. However, I like that idea. There is room for improvement, because I believe in the criteria of or one of the plans of the website is to have a page for the VTC. So list the VTCs on the web page with the logos. It takes them to a page where it's like a mini version of their website or portal with all the information on for them. That would fit nicely into it. However, it all comes down to whether the VTC wants to update it. And on the same type of point it is the VTC's either owners or second managers to inform us who the VTC represents are, primary and secondary, and if there's any new staff they want on, or any staff left, or they want any staff changed around on this Discord and on the website, because we are not held to account or we are not informed, I should say. And if obviously the right gentleman or the chamber would like a feature where it displays obviously the staff and update the information how old the VTCs are, etc., it is up to the VTC staff to tell us or update the panel. But I do like the idea that the right honourable gentleman suggested from Alpha Logistics. I'm in favour for it. But I agree.
Yeah, and I do agree for what you mentioned about the downsides, which I do take in consideration. Though, as I said, as we were talking in the past about the Discord bot, maybe we have it integrate with the website. So if the Discords, say, as a member of management in the Discords gets told from set VTC, saying, oh, we had a new rep, that will be added to the bot, and then the bot will send a message to the website to update it that way. However, that could be another debate or such on later terms.
So right, response, I like the idea to that, and I don't see why not. It can't be added to lists, the requirements want on the Discord bot. But I do ask the chair if, or anyone, well, all the other head ops, because I think we can put that idea through in this motion upon voting, or we can put it through as an amended motion to the previous vote. I don't know if we can do that, so I seek guidance from the head ops or the chair.
I think the proposal should be written up in detail and should be talked about in the next debate so everyone fully understands it.
Right.
So, all in favour for making a detailed report of what has been said so far and move to the next debate, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Aye.
And so the ayes have it, so that will be moved to the next debate. So next point on the point of orders is how...
The speaker just like point ask, was that us passing the feature requests for the website in that vote, or was it for the Discord bot idea? I'm a bit lost here, Mr. Speaker. Please can you clear this up?
I think it would be best to put a detailed report on both Discord bot and website into a detailed report to bring up on the next debate so that everyone can be clear on what actually has already been proposed and what the idea is already.
Right, thank you, Mr. Speaker.
So,
right.
Yes, sorry, yes, Jennifer from Arcadia.
Could I just, please have Howlin speak on my behalf?
I'd just like to say that on the Discord bot with the bringing down of the Truxbook data, not thinking of expansion of the VTU, not all VTCs will use Truxbook. I think it's a great idea that for the reps and members list to potentially be brought through. I think that's a great idea. It means it would automatically update the website of information. However, I want to stress that not all VTCs use Truxbook. So it wouldn't always be a good source of information.
To right on this point, I see where you come from, and I acknowledge not all VTCs use Truxbooks. However, in the same aspects, how the data is stored or shared or wherever by the different providers of log, as Truxbooks, VTlog, if I'm correct in saying, you still or possibly can use an API to pull the data. However, I don't fully know. It's up to the development team, and it's also, it depends on the VTC or the software providers. However, with the vote passed before, with the detailed report, a detailed report will tell us what we can and can't do and what is possible and what the plan is. Same with Discord bot, and we will try and get to the bottom of the Discord bot and website features eventually.
Then I look forward to reading that detailed report.
No problem.
Okay, providing that there's no more points to bring up about previous point of order, I will happily move on to the next if everyone's.
Aye.
So the next point of order is how members benefit in the VTU. So this is whether we decide what perks could be done in the VTU or what general features could help, or how would the VTU benefit VTCs and their members.
I'll just kick off the show. We'll kick off this one. The main principle of this point of order is for you guys. Well, there's two parts. It's for the website and the handbook, or any other way to persuade VTCs to join, and it's for you guys to tell us how you benefit and what other perks you want from the VTU. And I do, and as a deputy speaker, I'll take over from BMW because I know the right gentleman wishes to have his say in this one as well. So I give way to right gentleman from Arcadian BMW so he can have his say, because I know it was eager a while back.
Yeah, so the point that I would like to bring up about how the VTU can benefit, so for example, is with events, how we can get ourselves out there, which is another point on the order, but it's just something I'm kind of bringing into this for the later notion of it, is just how we can get other events from other VTCs that are within here, or providing, if in another notion from previous debate of going public, how can the public also be involved potentially as well with it. Also bringing up the fact that how is it, so do we get a bit of support? So for example, if a VTC is currently struggling, how can the VTU help them as well? So the point is, how can, as a community, can we all help each other? Is just my point that I'm trying to sort of get out, and it's obviously open for suggestions and such as that as well of how the people think it may do. So please, any ideas, feel free.
Mr. Speaker, can I speak?
Of course.
What?
So the honourable representative from Retro, please speak.
So going to how the VTU benefits the stakeholders involved, some of the requirements that are going to be already been planned to be implemented onto the website is something called Truck Watch, which the Republic has already voted for and what it should be doing. And we're also going to have the ability for VTCs to post events on the website, and there will also be pages advertising VTCs and Infinite Truckers MP.
Okay. Yeah, I remember we with the last debate with the name, and yeah, I do see the point, and it's good that it's on the website. But are we going to incorporate that within Discord as well potentially?
With the Truck Watch, as it's holding data, I can't tell which one. Well, I can't tell you which one to do. Obviously, public, but because of GDPR, we are restricted to what we can hold and where we hold it. So the Truck Watch will be only web-based. However, the only way you can see that data on the Truck Watch is by a non-disclosure agreement, or an agreement made saying you will not share any data. That data is for your eyes only. And that is the only that's why the only reason it's only going to be on the website is because of GDPR, and there needs to be a non-disclosure agreement. Yeah, bag of way.
Okay, so
Can I speak?
Yeah, sorry. Honourable gentleman from Arcadian Howland, please go ahead.
With regards to GDPR, the only way I could think of potentially that TruckSwatch working with the website is to make it sit behind the website and no one else see it, but to allow people who access the website to search upon it. So you're only able to find out if someone's on the list and not see the whole list.
To right on Bridget's point, that is exactly what I'm hoping it does, because yes, in terms of GDPR, yes, to make a function it has to be hidden, and the only way it can the data or the list can be seen is through the users logging in, but only users that are the VTC staff. And the VTC staff has to sign a non-disclosure agreement first. That is, I believe, if you guys allow it, vote if you wish, that non-disclosure agreement is mandatory to sign before accessing anything else on the website, and the same with Discord accessing the VTC section. And along with that, the staff team will have to sign a non-disclosure agreement and a contract. I would like to move that proposal of a non-disclosure agreement and a staff contract to a vote right away. So, if you may, Mr. Speaker.
Sorry, can I just quickly say as well just about who exactly can access this? So, what members of each VTC can access what?
So,
If that makes sense.
yeah, at the moment, I've told the developers that it's only VTC staff, but I could change that to VTC owners only, which could make more sense. And in regards to security, with the previous point, the record shouldn't be held outside of the website. The website and the VPS it's on has already been, the security considerations have already been taken care of. And in regards to the NDA, that can also be something that it can go in the terms of service and acceptable use policy as well. Furthermore, to the users being privileged enough to access the data, only certain people from the union, like me or Sam, can actually give people the permissions, such as VTC owner or whatever else, and then it's at the moment it's at their discretion who gets VTC staff, but we can change how much access VTC staff gets. That's not a problem.
Right.
I'm done.
Right.
So, if Deputy Speaker, if you could do the vote, because in all honesty, I forgot the point you made. So, if you can do the vote for us, please, that would be greatly appreciated.
So the motion of passing a non-disclosure agreement through before the website for the data alongside a staff contract as well, that motion in turn will be implemented straight away. So I called the vote. All in favour, aye.
Aye.
Go on then.
Aye.
On the contrary, no. The ayes have it. The ayes have it. Right, Mr. Speaker, go on.
So, is there anything anyone else would like to bring up in terms of benefits before we move on? This is the last chance to bring it up.
Yes, I do want to shove one more point, little point in. For the benefits, it obviously is Truck Watch. On the not next one, not one after. On the in 2 more orders, point of orders time for the Truck Event Network. That would be benefit if it is passed through, and I believe it should, in my personal opinion. However, the more benefits we have, the more chance people are interested in joining. And along with the benefit, a badge that's in the next point of order would be obviously your benefit, and it's good to show off it. That makes sense. However, that's my point done. So, there you go, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you, Donald, gentleman from SNF Aldridge. So, provided that there's no more ideas to bring up, then I'm.
Can I bring up the point of advertising within, say, Discord? So, for example, direct links to websites. Is anything currently being done about?
To the right Gentleman's response, there is a channel down in the VTC section which has it's VTC information. Now that what's the word I'm looking for? That is to explain that section. However, the VTU member VTCs is there for VTCs to post their Discord links, social media links and all that. However, a template will be produced by the head of operations after this debate is done, just so it looks neat, and we would like you to use that template. However, once that's done, it will be being put out for you guys, and just go on ahead and put your stuff in. But for that section to really work for yous, you need to pass the last point of order.
Okay. Have we got a time frame at all on when the template will be
Probably by tomorrow.
Okay, brilliant. Thank you.
But I give way.
Okay, so moving on to the next point of order is media. So we would like to hear what media you want, and this could include the badges, emblems, and verified tags, as the honourable gentleman from SNF Aldridge briefly touched on. So please, any ideas put forward?
I'll just start off something there for you, Mr. Speaker. Additional to the media, this also goes on the website and Discord. So if anyone's got any ideas, obviously I put out the badges verified tag, member tag before, but I'd like to know whether the publications team would like to know what other media you want. But I give way to anyone who wishes to add.
So there's no one with any ideas in terms of, for media, what could be done at all?
Didn't seem not.
Because if there's no further points, then I'd like to move on to the next point of order.
Can I speak quickly?
Of course.
the website developers are actually requesting content to put on the website in terms of like just general content. So on the media point, we need to get someone to write up some paragraphs and whatever else, and I think we also need to get the VTCs to actually explain themselves as like a paragraph to put on the website with their bright media. So yeah, that's another point actually. The VTCs need to just send over the head of operations or the development team the necessary media to go on the VTU website, along with explanation of their VTC.
Can I make a point about that?
Yeah.
That could possibly be something integrated into the panel, something that the VTCs actually do themselves.
Oh, okay, yeah.
To two gentlemen's points there, to the right one gentleman from Sandbro, that's exactly what I thought of myself originally, and second of all, to the right one gentleman from Retro, that is panel, I think, as well, and VCs will be, if the next bit happens with the plan of the website, VTCs can submit their logo to us via the forum or Discord, and I give way.
So to bring up a point myself, is you're referring to giving a brief paragraph of what the VTCs are, for example, and is that also like general media in terms of photos of, let's say, some trucking photos at all? Is that
yeah, so logos, it depends how the website's being designed. I'm sure Joey can clear that up for me. But yeah, it would be like logos, like an explanation of themselves, any like content they want to be advertised on the VTU website. So yeah, it depends how it's been designed. So I don't know if Joey wants to explain how that's
Yeah, I can do.
Just an extension of that. Would it be that we would have separate pages for separate companies? Obviously, that would allow for having images and larger descriptions and all the rest of it, or would it be on one page, which obviously it'd have to be a lot smaller? But
I have the plan for that exactly. From what, obviously, the other developer isn't present with us at the moment. He's out on a family meal. Me and him come up with the plan for the companies to all be listed on one page on the website, and then you'd be able to click them, and every company would have their own page, which obviously every VTC owner could upload their own descriptions, their own images, etc. to go on that page.
That sounds like a good
Could
idea.
I ask something there?
Go ahead.
I think that's a great idea, but also would that be beneficial to, say, up-and-coming VTCs, that instead of having to fork out the initial cost to then host their own website for their own VTC, if they joined the VTU, could that come under a benefit to have a page on the VTU just by their getting a step up into the trucking?
If I'd like to jump in there in response to the right jump from Acadian, that is a great idea, and I believe that would be a benefit of joining the VTU from the last point of order we just had, and that would be great because it gives the VTCs a chance and it lets them put their data on.
I have to agree as well with the two honourable gentlemen about both points put forward, as I have to put up myself saying when I first started my VTC, I had issues trying to get my VTC noticed, and it was so much hard work to get so little results. So having this would actually be a great start for any other new VTC.
I have to agree. That's definitely something that will, it's already being implemented by the sounds of it. So it's already planned to be implemented by the sounds of it. So that's just an added benefit of what's already being planned.
Okay, so that can be put down onto the detail report in terms of the benefits that we have going, that would be brilliant. So is there any more ideas in terms of sort of media, just before we may move on to the next point of order?
Can I make a point?
Of course. Go ahead, the honourable gentleman from Sandbarrow.
Earlier on, it was mentioned about paragraphs of the website and all, etc. along that lines. Could I clarify that is able?
Sorry, could you repeat that? You got cut off at the last second.
Earlier on, it was mentioned about somebody coming up with paragraphs to put on the website and media. Can I just clarify that is able to be?
Cut out again.
You got to able to be. Can I try that again, or just say the last bit?
The paragraphs for the website, are they able to be done?
And the response to the right honourable gentleman, I'd like to point out how I see it, if you don't mind. The media is mainly photos, pictures, however, in turn, paragraphs can be done if a detailed report for the website and Discord bot is produced in the next 48 hours and put to the House, and we could call another debate for next week to pass all queries, or sometime next week I should say, for all queries and features and ideas, pass them through as a motion. If that's proper, if that is a proper way of doing it, I believe it is, how the speaker does it. But the right gentleman can request VTCs to start working on that for their submission. I hope that answers the right gentleman's question. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Okay, so next point of order is graphic design service. So BT Skins, we'd like to hear what you think on this subject and would it work. So that is adding the VTU's badge to your own skins you already have for your BTC, or potentially the VTU having their own one made, potentially with, for example, lists of all the current VTCs within it, which means it will have to be updated every time someone leaves to join, so it could be a hassle, but you get the general idea. So if there's any ideas for this, then please speak up.
I'd like to expand on that. That is the fundamental basis of it, but as well it's a service that the VTU could provide on truck skins being made for VTCs, because there's not many people who do liveries and it's quite hard to find people who do it for free. It's something that would be good to do, and it'd be nice to have a Virtual Truckers Union skin with all the member VTC's logo on it. However, it would be nightmare, but a service provided by the Virtual Truckers Union for skins or liveries for your wagons would be good, but is it possible, or is there anyone who would step forward to become the full-time skinner for the Virtual Truckers Union?
Sorry, can I just...
yeah, I give way to the right one, for Arcadian.
So currently, we've taken a step forward on this already, and we are flying the VTU logo on the backs of our trailers. I think if someone would like to come to me and ask about skins, there is no charge involved. However, I would like to point out that obviously doing this sort of thing takes a lot of time, depending on exactly what they want and how they want it. The problem is that if you have, say you want every single truck in the game and you decide you want all of those skins, that's potentially, for someone who's already working full-time, months of work to be able to get through. So it really depends, but if anyone wants to come to me about that, feel free.
Right, response. I acknowledge it takes a lot of time to do skins. And I thank the right gentleman for putting the Virtuous logo on the back of his trailers. I would like if you could drop a picture of it in the chat, the community chat, I should say, to have a look and show off. But I do acknowledge it takes a lot of time, so I done a rough calculation, and this is rough. If the idea was passed and there was support for it, so if the motion was passed, we need a rough amount of 5 skinners in the Virtual Truckers Union. However, what we could in turn say, so we're not backlogged with work, is if you are a member of the Virtual Truckers Union for more than 6 months, then in turn you will be granted Virtual Truck skins.
Would it be that there is a limit on this? So say they are entitled to, say, 3 different skins. So for example, one's a Scania Streamline, one's like a DAF XF, things like that. That way would also it massively cut down. Plus, if they wanted any further, they'd then be able to obviously go to someone else or even do it themselves, really.
To write my own response, yes, there can be a limit of 3 trucks which they can pick. So, for example, Scania Next Gen or a DAF 105 and Renault, they can pick. Also, same with trailers. Now, I don't know how to skin, but I assume trailers are pretty easy to do, so I don't see why they couldn't be done pretty quick. So they could increase the limit on the trailers, perhaps maybe 5 or so. But in turn, if it was a haulage company or company that specialises in 3 different areas, then it is the haulage company or the company, or the VTC I should say, to decide what they want done with the limits in place.
I think it'd be sensible suggesting a chilled trailer, and obviously a curtain sider, and even the shorter trailer because they kind of transfer from one to the other. That would be sensible instead of just saying either all of them or even then actually a lot of the trailers are flatbeds, which obviously don't need skinning because let's be honest, you're not really going to put a lot of information on a slim slither of metal. So,
in response, I had an idea. I can't discuss this, but I will be contacting the right gentleman from Select Your Game in turn to possibly propose to extending this idea further, if the right majority wishes. But in turn, limits should be placed. Let's say 3 trucks, maybe 3 trailers or 4, depends how easy they are for the skinner, and then let them choose what trucks and trailers they want done. Now, I like the idea. Now, it'll be good, and again, it goes back to the point of order from not before, but one before, how members benefit. It'll be good benefit to the Virtual Truckers Union.
I'd just like to add an additional point to the honourable gentleman from SNF Haulage. As in terms of me and my partner M2, we both do the skinning in collaboration. I do the trailers myself, he does trucks. And it's in terms of the trailers, just to give some context, it is easy once you know how to do, but for someone, let's say, that's just starting to skin, even though the templates are very easy to follow, the actual way, as far as I can tell, to do the trailers is go through a back end of a mod that's already been created by somebody else, which in turn, that means a lot of editing of TOBJ files, and also changing any description as such as well. And yes, to answer the question is, if you skin a curtain-sided trailer and then you go for the HCT available in Finland, it does transpire to both because it uses the same template. The only difference is if you go for the half trailer. But then if someone wants like a full trailer for every single trailer aside from flatbeds, then it does take quite a bit of different editing, because what you got to take into account is even though you can put a skin template on as you'd like it, it does actually have in-game overlays which go onto it, which you do have to kind of plan around it. So even though you can get a design done straight away, implement it straight away, it works fine, you have got to make minute adjustments to get into the right level. So for example, with the refrigerated or insulated unit, instead of having the white high-vis squares, you actually have yellow. And as for the refrigerators, the doors on the back are different compared to the coinciders. So it's just a lot of things to take into consideration with it, just to give the Honourable Gentleman from SNF1 just a rough idea.
If I can just add to that, sorry. I think really, if anything, the trailers are the most do-it-yourself item. They're probably the easiest to do visually speaking, but if you then come across obviously to the trucks, that's a little bit harder to do. Getting those right can be a bit of a pain. Although the only thing is, it's a lot easier to do those, bearing that if you ignore the Scania SR, the MAN TGX as they're new and have a different way of doing them. The trailers are a little bit of a pain if you don't know what you're doing in terms of the files, but they're probably easiest to do if you want to get into doing it.
To the right on the gentleman's response about editing files, I'm going to throw a question here to the right gentleman from Sandro and the developer. Is it possible, with the expertise of our development team, to create some type of program or edit program to help assist, or even find a program, I should say, the skinning in that aspect? I don't know if it's possible, but if I can clear it up for me, it would be quite interesting.
Well, I myself am not a software developer. I only work on their web applications. Pokey does have some software knowledge, but it's really something that would have to be asked to him, not.
Okay.
Sorry, what was the question, Sam? If it's about development, I might be able to.
It was about the right gentleman from Adrian on the speaker said about editing what type of files?
It's the TOBJ files, which there actually already is a software application in terms of ETS Studio.
So, the software application of ATS2 Studio, does that do already, or do you have to manually find files and edit them?
Oh, I wouldn't. I haven't used ETS2 Studio that much, so I wouldn't know.
Alright, no problem. Withdraw that point of question. Thanks, Speaker. I think the speaker vote should be held on this idea of graphic design service preventing VTC skins. Speaker. Oh, okay.
Yes, sorry. I just had a family member walk into the room mid-explanation. I don't know if it's already been briefly discussed, but to continue my point was, if you use ETS2 Studio, it has a feature built in, but you can only edit one file at a time because of the fact of directories and names. So if there is a software to improve that, I think it might have A, already been done, or B, can actually benefit skinners themselves. Because all that the TOBJ files is just, let's say, because I use a mod which has been approved for everyone to mod over, so it's not exactly any copyright or, you know, obstructing someone's work by changing it. It's you actually have to go through. So, for example, it's for the Bring company, and you have to go through. And let's say if you want it to your name, you have to go through every individual file, and where it's, for example, in vehicle def, and then you go into trailers, etc. You change the last point, because if you change any name in that file already, you have to do it through that to match it, or otherwise it causes confliction, or you don't find it in general. That's just to explain.
Thank you for the speaker clear it up in general. It has helped me understand that. So with obviously the point I made before, I've withdrawn it. That's fine. But that made sense. I know it did. Don't worry. It made sense in my head. But anyway,
I wasn't laughing at you, Tom.
oh,
Oh.
but I do have to speak. I move the motion to a vote.
Yes. So, all in favour of moving the skins and just general graphic design services for the VTU. So,
Go on then.
and on the contrary, no. The ayes have it by one. So, next point to bring up on the order is the Truck Events Network that was brought up earlier on. So, if the Honourable Gentleman from SF Haulage and Deputy Speaker would like to explain a bit on that.
Alright, so this is a very, very important point of order. And this requires full explanation. So, along with the features of TruckWatch, and this would be a benefit and a feature on the website, I came up with a few ideas along with a fair few members of the Virtual Truckers Union about a Truckers Event Network, or Event Network. I've put the Truckers in front of it, so it sounds nice. This proposes like an ETS2C, but better, or potential ETS2C page. But the fundamental principle or fundamental things for this truck event network is for VTCs to post their weekly convoys on. So it can be expanded to the point I'm going to make in a minute. Can put events on and charity events. So charity organisers can come to Discord, put their they can request a tag of a charity organiser. The tag can be made for what event it is, and along with that, they can be given a permission on the website to put the event on it, and in turn, the feeds can be pulled from the website onto a Discord bot, onto the Discord in the correct channels, and also on the website there'll be a calendar, hopefully, display with monthly calendar changes here and there, and put the different events on with the VTCs, and you'll have a page so you can display hopefully the information, event, the route, start, time, DLCs, etc. And it's like the convoys page. What I mean by that is, if we decided to open up the website a little bit more to the public, in turn maybe having it so public can sign in with Steam IDs, perhaps, and they can say, yes, I'm going to that event, like ETS2C, it would be pretty good. However, I don't know if it's possible in our terms of safety for the more security, but in turn it would mean you've got 2 free benefits. You've got a place to advertise your convoys with full detail. You could pull the events from the website, or new events can go into feed into a Discord chat room, and perhaps events can be verified by a staff member, maybe head of ops or public relations, and in turn, with the event going up in the next point of order, it can be there shared on a media network, Facebook or Twitter, which is in the next point of order. But I give way to anyone there who wishes to ask questions or add upon it. But if no one has any questions, I'll make a motion.
For the events, the basic system of putting events on the website, from having the VTCs being able to put events on the website, has already been planned for the website, so it can be grown upon once that basic feature has been implemented. But I've already told the development team to put that in. So,
in turn with the question to Right Gentleman for Metro 89, as he is a developer himself, in turn with the fundamental system we have for VTCs and the staff to add events on, is it possible to furthermore expand to a convoys page where public can sign in with their Steam? I don't know how we would hold that data, or whether it would just be an API, into sign with Steam and then say, yes, we are going to that event. Is that possible?
that is possible. I'll talk to development to Pokey about it when he's online at some point.
Okay. But I give way to anyone else who has any more questions.
Guys, are we just recreating ETS2C?
To the response, yes and no. Because
Do we need...
So the whole point of us making our own events on our own website is so that you guys, VTC owners or staff or whatever, can advertise your event on a more exclusive platform. So you've only got the other events of other member VTCs of the VTU on the website, and you'll also have that linking to your own VTU page on the website, and then obviously that links to your own media and things like that. So that's the whole point of it. It's more of an exclusive thing.
It's a benefit.
Yeah, and hopefully with the help of PR team, that sort of system can become a place where normal truckers can go for trustworthy events and events that they know are going to be good because they are the VTCs are members of the VTU. So that's the goal in the end.
So in response, is that so making a benefit obviously to the VTU? Would it only be that verified members of the VTU are then able to post that, as opposed to just any member of the public, however having members of the public being able to view those?
Yeah, that's the point. So only member VTCs of the VTU can post events on the VTU website, but everyone can see it. So it's a way for you guys to advertise your events.
I would like to also point out, same with charity events. Charity events can come here, and the VTU can, I don't know what we want to call it, a partnership or sponsor, and allow the charity events to advertise their event on our website and Discord, and have our backing along with, if the VTU would like to do it, maybe in the next debate talk about terms of a sponsor or partnership with a charity event. Talk like say we could put another tag out, like create a new tag on Discord saying verified CC or trained CC, but not display it separately, and say in the terms the event can request the Virtual Truckers Union verified CC team, perhaps, if that obviously idea went through as a motion. In turn, that could be benefit for charity events to come forward and request our help. But at the end of the day, it's not just for obviously the VTC, it's for charity events, because the more charity work everyone does, the better off everyone is, and the better off we look good.
Mr. Speaker, I would disagree with the whole events page simply because it would take a lot of advertisements, as well as representing the new page to the public would take some time to consider, as well as in time of progress and development, etc.
Yeah, the initial trying to advertise these services in the first place over the ones that already exist, it would almost be, in a way, trying to tempt new people into a new service, as it might.
I personally don't see any issues with that.
In the terms of marketing, it will be hard, because yes, there's already ETS2C and any other ones, but in turn, you know, you're given a benefit, and our platform would be updated, be a bit more secure, you know, and it gives more perks than you think. But I see where the right one gentleman's come from about how it's quite hard to draw new people in. But if you know people, you can tell people, and then people will tell other people, so on, so on, so on. That is if the service we will provide is excellent enough.
So the right honourable gentleman, I do think that if we could get partnership with one of the existing event platforms, that would be better than creating our own, as well as trying to catch up with them in terms of their development.
In response, right, I'd like that. I don't mind that idea. However, the platform called ETS2C, I know it is updated, but not as much as it used to be. All the time gets updated as if, well, I don't think it isn't even updated anymore. I think it's discontinued due to the fact you have to manually put the cities in for new DLCs. I could be wrong there, but the only way I see fit purpose, my point of view, is to produce a platform which is integrated for the VTCs. I do understand where the right one gentleman from Select Your Games come from. However, in these days, there needs to be a change. And if we've got our foot on the door, or foot on the step, we should push that change through. But I'll give way to those.
I think this whole subject needs to have a good talk with two developers that are making the website as well, because they can fully explain the benefits.
I agree. Well, Mr. Speaker, for me.
Okay, so yeah. Okay, so moving on to next point of order is media networks. So to expand out to social media to keep people up to date with major and minor things. So obviously these are the platforms that could use, like Facebook, Twitter, and so on and so forth, any other social media to get out there for updates.
To start things off, I think it'd be a canny idea, because you obviously with Twitter you retweet things, and in turn, advertise and maybe retweet events, or put, if let's say, for it would work in turn well for the event side as well, or the events on the website. You can have a system where PR advertise VTC's events from the website, and Facebook same as well. Maybe Facebook can be used as where people can ask support questions or advertise, or we advertise, so on and so on. I haven't really got much to add to that, but other than the Facebook and Twitter's the first two places I can think of for the social media. So I give it. Does any?
Mr. Speaker, can I ask a question? Mr. Speaker, can I ask a question?
I don't.
Deputy Speaker,
yeah.
can I ask a
He
question?
says, yeah.
Yes, the right one from Retro 89.
Do you know how much longer this debate's going to take? Just because I need to call someone about business.
Well, we've only got 2 more points of order and then head of operations question time, but I think that'll be cancelled for today's proceedings.
So how long do you reckon?
Well, if no one's got any more things to add to the media network point of order, then we'll put a vote through, and then the Facebook advertising will just be a quick statement, and then maybe a vote or push it back. And the last point of order will be a small, maybe a medium debate and a vote. However, if the main speaker would like to, if he wishes to give way to me and I'll speed proceedings up, I will. But it's up to the main speaker if he wishes.
Yes, if the honourable gentleman, Deputy Speaker, could please do so, that would be beneficial to us all.
Okay, so the motion of media network, if people, well, a vote will be held of the media network motion. So all in favour for passing, say aye.
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 Go on then.
On the contrary, no. The ayes have it, the ayes have it. Okay, next point of order, Facebook advertising pages. A scheme to reach out to Facebook pages that are set up, Facebook pages / groups, are set up for VTCs to advertise. So what it is like, I'm a part of one where VTCs put their advertising, usually is medium haulage companies or logistics companies. The proposal is that to try and get them onto Discord and somehow, along with the media network idea we've just passed, somehow give them somewhere to advertise as well, potentially on our Facebook or in Discord. Now, or even forums, I should say. I don't know how the chamber or house would like to proceed that. If they wish, we could move this back to another debate. Yes, no? Whoever would speak now, whoever would please.
Yeah, can I? Yeah. I personally, God damn it, I don't think Facebook's really the ideal way to go. I think really Twitter's probably the way forward from this point, especially even with the younger generation, I suppose, which is really the community. Even Instagram actually would be better than Facebook, plainly because we're also reaching a wider audience.
Yes, but what I mean, it's right, what I mean of the point of order states is that there are Facebook pages being set up for advertising already, or groups, and in turn, what proposal is or scheme for those Facebook pages or the VTCs advertising on those Facebook pages to either advertise on our Discord or forums or something, which gives them a better chance of gaining recruits.
Okay, so in response, how popular exactly are these pages? Because it might be to a point where actually we can be putting this time resource to a different place, depending.
It's the right on reference response. Step speaker, I would have to find you the facts out. So I would get back to you on that possibly next bit if the House would allow this to be moved on. Because
I personally think we're pretty good for today, personally.
Okay. The last point of order, right? You can either decide now, or you can have a debate now, or can finish it off. But the last point of order is making the Discord public. It was in the last debate, but the last debate got cut short. So, would the Chamber or the House allow the Virtual Truckers Union Discord to go public? Now, bear in mind, most channels are set up already. We have got 3 basic bots in to do moderation. We can, in turn, if we went public in the next debate, which will probably end up being next week, to pass a motion for a new adapted motion to staff rules.
If I may just say something, sorry. I think it might be in everyone's best interest if we can actually push this along further one more to put to the start of the next debate, only due to the factors of how long it may actually take, and providing that some people actually do have to run off soon.
Yeah.
I think it is definitely in everyone's interest to move this on till next debate.
If that's what the chamber would like, that's what the chamber can have.
I agree.
So
putting this to a vote just to speed it on a bit.
It doesn't need to be voted.
Okay.
So I'll sort that. So the head of British question time will be moved as well to a later date, along with the rest of this debate. The last few points. Minutes will be produced in the next 24 hours to 48 hours. And some of you of what happened. I do like to thank people who've attended, and apologies for anyone who hasn't. I do like to thank the main speaker, BMW, for trying to sort this, and I thank them for handing over me to try and get this sped up. And I do like to say to the stream, hope you've enjoyed, and it's all on record on the YouTube channel, which will be posted there very soon. But order. Thank you. Unlock.